Hello and thank you for joining us. With your CIGTV News Update, I'm Jamie Hicks in for Donna Bush. And with our top story today, in June 2018, the Cayman Islands government, in partnership with UK-based training provider CITI, launched a pilot program designed to develop skills across the civil service in the area of project management and business case development. Over the past 5 months, participants have engaged in online learning modules in preparation for a formal course and exam that is currently being delivered throughout the end of this month. In cohorts of 20, 60 civil servants will take the APM Project Management Foundation exam, with another 40 participants scheduled to take the Better Business Case Foundation exam. CIGTV News visited 2 of the cohorts and heard from organizers, facilitators, and participants.
No point if the government's got all the money to build the high school.
Embedding the 5-case model thinking is a very important part of our strategy to become a world-class civil service if we are able to embed that into the way we work and operate as a civil service. And a world-class civil service actually is able to translate the policy goals and aims of our elected officials into successful projects and programs that deliver products, they deliver outcomes and ultimately benefits that our public need and want.
I feel that the 5Ks model is an additional tool, very valuable in teasing out benefits, risks, total life cycle costs, total ownership costs. Of course, we've been looking for those things in previous models, but by critiquing it from 5 particular ways, I find that it gets to the root causes and to the additional benefits that may be unforeseen possibly in other models. And therefore they can either be managed if they're risks or they can be sought if there are actual opportunities.
This particular course that we're doing right now actually speaks directly to that. It's giving us the tools, equipping us to do it properly the first time around. Whereas before we would do more trial and error. Now this is actually putting in place a proper structure for what we want to do and how to do it properly.
The focus here of this particular course is improving government decision making about how do we spend public funds for investments, improvement of services. This is a world-class qualification. Although it's come out of the UK government, it's used by New Zealand government, it's used by the G20 Secretariat, it's used by the World Bank. But I think we need to be sure that the focus first of all is on this upskilling, the knowledge development, and certification is merely evidence of the result. Firstly, I hope they'll have more confidence. They'll have more confidence in understanding the context of how government invests. They'll have more confidence in the type of information that they should be working with. Either the colleagues need to give them or they need to create if they're the writer of the business case. And both of those then lead to hopefully better decision making. And ultimately, better decision making is also about better confidence. Confidence in the people affected by my project investment, confidence by taxpayers and citizens and other members of society.
Because we have teams coming and going, don't we?
Project management is so important today because no matter where you're working, projects are everywhere. Yeah, every organisation, every profession within an organisation runs projects, whether you work in finance, whether you work in IT, as you call it, computer services, whether you work in education, health, welfare, you're constantly doing projects. If you don't have project management skills and skilled project managers running those projects, the chances of succeeding are far fewer. Well, first of all, the training itself is important because, as many of the delegates on the course this week have said, listening to something in theory isn't quite the same as listening to a trainer put it in context, give examples, answer questions, bring it to life. And most of the delegates, I think, got real value out of being here over this course of this week by being able to be engaged, involved, hear other delegates' experiences, hear good stories and bad stories about what project managers do, and understand why project management's important.
So programs like this are important for the fact that it actually gives self-empowerment, both personally and professionally, and it actually put yourself in a position where you could now go back to your role and you could actually see how you could do things better and more structured and then you could pass on knowledge either to your superiors or to your peers.
Wow, I mean, I see everything differently, to be honest. Having the theoretical knowledge to actually apply to some of the things that you've been doing already through kind of a baptism by fire, but it makes a complete difference now when you have the theoretical knowledge to actually apply to the things that you're doing every single day. So it puts things in much better perspective. I think that it's a lot easier to pinpoint what things we're doing inefficiently and how we can make things much more efficient. To be honest, this course really affects every single aspect of my work. So I was really grateful to be able to go through the process.
Both of the exams lead to internationally recognized certification, which all participants will receive once they've successfully passed the courses. And with that ends today's news update. If you missed it, you can catch it all on our Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or on our television YouTube channel. For now, I'm Jamie Hicks. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?